There's rumors out right now about Kawhi, PG, about trades and stuff like that. But the most interesting one I think I've seen here lately was about Paul George, and the Golden State Warriors. And the question I have is, would it be a mistake for the Golden State Warriors, or excuse me, would it be a mistake for the Clippers to trade Paul George to the Golden State Warriors for what they're willing to give back in return? And, we know that the Clippers once again didn't live up to expectation in regards to winning a championship. So I feel like the Clippers are trying to take every avenue they can. And, with no substantiality or no solidity with Ty Lue coming back based upon some of the reports that we're hearing, and him wanting a new contract instead of an extension. The negotiations are kind of going south a little bit. Anything can happen with the Clippers now. I mean, it could be one of those situations where you could see a Paul George getting traded off and shipped off to another team. Now, if he goes to the Warriors, he definitely has a good chance of, winning a championship there, of course, being on that team with the Splash Brothers if they have anything left, which I believe they do. But the trade proposal for Paul George is the fact that they would let go of Kuminga, Jordan Poole, I think the one guy that played a little bit, Moody was his name, and a couple of draft picks for Paul George. Now, me personally, if I were the Clippers, I would say hell no to that, because first of all, you already have depth, and I don't think those guys would be adding to your depth in regards to what you already have. I think Jordan Poole is one of those players who can shoot you out of a game and help you lose a game more than he can help you win one. You know what I'm saying? He has moments where he looks really good, but he's just a wild card type player to me. And, he's basically hit or miss. Sometimes you can get 20, 30 points out of him 3-4 nights in a row, and then it could be another 3-4 nights in a row where he may score 11 points, 14 points, which is not helping your cause if you're trying to win a championship. And this is the reason why I say I don't think Jordan Poole is really built to help a team win a championship right now. And the Clippers, that's the only goal for them to do, is win a championship. And I personally think also if, Paul George doesn't come back or get shipped off, I don't know where that leaves Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if he will want to come back to the Clippers. And of course, because he really only came there with the notion of having help in a Paul George or somebody like that. Now, who knows? There could be a situation where they might trade Paul George to the Warriors and get back those pieces and a couple picks, and then possibly go after Dame Lillard. You know what I'm saying? That's a possibility. But on top of that, of course, having your solidified head coach there, and before you start making other decisions like that, is a huge thing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they should definitely look towards the Ty Lue situation, whether they're going to keep him or not. Figure that out before they make any other alternative moves or any big moves like that in regards to superstars, because like I said, you want to know your head coach is there, the guy at the center of the whole thing, and then you can kind of build around him based upon what players he wants to have and what type of system he wants to build and what type of players he wants to have in it. So, to me, that's where I would look at, with the Clippers in regards to, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish. I would start there with the head coach and then trickle his way down. But of course, it's going to be a lot of headlines about Kawhi and PG. And this is not the only team that I hear about with PG, but of course it's going to be the most interesting or talked about in a lot of instances, because this is the Golden State Warriors we're talking about, and it's a team who's won and a team that's a real well-known name team around the league. So of course it's going to be a lot of speculation with them specifically just because it's them, and I understand that. But as I said before, the Clippers, honestly, they would be a lot better off not trying to trade Paul George to the Warriors, because like I said, Jordan Poole is just not the player that a lot of people think that he is, at least not right now. Maybe a couple more years, maybe he'll be ready to make that move and make that jump and that leap into the player that a lot of people think he can be. But right now, he's not there. Jonathan Kuminga, the Warriors, honestly, from the reports of, Yahoo Sports and things like that over the last 1 or 2 seasons, he's not developing the way they thought he would want to, or at least not as quickly as they thought he would, which is the reason why you haven't seen Kuminga featured a lot in a lot of their big games enough, because they still think he still needs more developing, and Andrew Wiggins is still good enough in their eyes to do the things that Kuminga can do, plus a little bit more in regards to shooting the ball a lot better and, being accountable on that end, along with maybe the defensive end like Kuminga is right now, a guy full of athleticism with some good defense. But at the same time, it's one of those situations where I don't think the Clippers need a Kuminga or a Jordan Poole. They got enough depth. When you look at their roster, they just need to be healthy. That's really the only thing they need is health. They don't need really any trades or anything. I think their team is good enough to go really far, what I'm saying, with the pieces that they have. I personally think that, and I still think that, but at the same time, it's hard to, believe that, because the team never stays healthy enough for us to see it all, be put together for them to make the run that we feel like they should. But either way, I wouldn't be surprised if they do make this trade. Nothing surprised me in the NBA at this point now. I've seen so many different type trades and so many players join super teams and things like that. I can't say I'm surprised by anything anymore in regards to that. So I'm not going to sit there and act like I would be, because I don't believe I would be at all. But at the same time, I don't think it benefits the Clippers any. So if I were them, I really would probably shut this operation down, or this trade proposal down, not unless the Warriors made another trade proposal that the Clippers liked even more. But I don't know what else the Warriors would actually want to give up for a Paul George, especially somebody who's injury prone as well. And they got to factor all that in along with their decision on who they bring in to help them possibly better their chances of winning a championship. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where, as I said before, it's hard to say, how it's going to pan out, or, what the verdict is going to be in the situation. But either way, I personally see a situation where Paul George stays along with Kawhi Leonard. And if they do trade one of those pieces, I think the Clippers will only trade one of those pieces with a big name like a Damian Lillard or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Not going back and getting a bunch of regular other guys, which they already have on their roster, which is filled full of depth. And just to, fill out their roster. No, they want superstars in return. So if I were the Clippers, really, it's not even really worth debating to me. Keep Paul George unless you can get somebody with a little bit more of a name, a caliber up to his level, or a little bit better. Just getting a bunch of other guys and a couple of picks, that's not really going to do you any good if you're trying to win a championship. That's more or less like trying to rebuild or something like that. And that's not what the Clippers should be, especially still having two superstars on their current roster as we speak right now. So we'll see how the trade talks goes. But if I were the Clippers, I definitely would, pass up on this one, because I don't think Jonathan Kuminga and Jordan Poole will move the needle for any Clippers fans based upon what they saw in the playoffs from those two, or basically just one, Jordan Poole, because Kuminga doesn't get that much playing time. But either way, might not be the best situation for the Clippers to go through with in regards to sending Paul George to the Warriors for that specifically. So basically, just either keep him or, listen to another option out there, or should I say another team give you another offer.